Right, it is a Monday. Welcome to Lunchtime Chat on KBN TV, the finest television. Of course, too much has been happening, and when it's a Monday, we always want to unpack, we always want to address and discuss as well as find solutions to some of the challenges, some of the issues that might have happened over the weekend. My name is Taizia Chele, and we are live on Go TV channel 27, DSTV channel 279, and Topstar on channel 102. We're also live on Facebook. If you have any comments, contributions, all you need to do is to get through to our Facebook page and leave your comments right there. You can also call us on the number appearing on the screen. Just follow the rules, ensure that your television set is the volume for your television set is reduced so that we don't get any feedback. But I'll only be allowing phone calls at exactly 13:30. But for now, you can send in all those questions or contributions. Just send to the number appearing on the screen. Now, as we draw closer to the general election date, more opposition leaders are coming out in open to share their desires of seeing their faces on the ballot paper, with some opposition political parties still facing factionalism and some even being expelled from their political parties. While this continues to be the situation, some members of the community have gone hard on calling for opposition unity. Today on Lunchtime Chat, we discuss, are politicians shunning away from opposition unity because of selfish interests? To help me discuss this important topic, in the studio, I am joined by Mr. Mwangala Kapui, who is also a politician, and of course, we'll be finding out more from him. Good afternoon, welcome to Lunchtime Chat.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Taizia, for this opportunity, and I'm happy to be here.
All right.
Yes.
Interesting. How have you been? I know you are a politician. Of course, a lot is happening. How have you been? How do you look at the current situation in everything, be it in the economic status of this country, the political landscape of this country?
Well, Ash, it's getting busy, and every team right now is actually preparing for the general elections, and everybody is on the ground trying to organize one or two things, but God is helping us. Yeah, and it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. Too much drama going on, and I think moving forward, I think by the time we are almost reaching by the actual time where Parliament is dissolved, we must have some things settled down. We must have some dust settled down, because currently there's so much going on, and really people want direction, and people are stressed. They want to know the right thing, which direction to take, and which person to rally behind, and just to have a very peaceful environment in the nation of Zambia. Zambians love each other, so if there's anything that they really value is peace. So generally, the landscape currently is in the political area, in the political space, it's a little bit chaotic, but of course we have some stability somewhere, so I think we'll be able to discuss further in that line.
Which areas do you feel it's kind of chaotic, as you've put it? And probably if you were to just advise people holding high positions, which areas do you feel they need to work on in regards to the political environment?
So what is in the mind of the Zambians right now is in regards to the opposition. They are looking for a united opposition, and what they are looking for is just to have one candidate, and that has been an issue with so much issues going on with the Patriotic Front. So many factions, so many teams in one camp, and also other political parties that are also trying to see how best we can come up with this. But so what's most chaotic is just this confusion that is there, in the Patriotic Front, and people just want a proper organized opposition. They want
But is the PF the only opposition political party? We have a number of opposition political parties, so why should everything be centered around the Patriotic Front? They once said they had their own time to rule this country. Why should we still be going back to the PF? Is it the only opposition political party?
No, it's not the only political party. I'm just trying to. It is the only political party which is chaotic right now.
Okay.
It is the only party which is in confusion. So if
why
you
not forget about it and then focus on other opposition?
Exactly. I think that's what we are driving to, because we have a very stable political party right now, the Citizens First, with President Harry Kalaba, where I come from. You won't hear of anything, any commotion. It is very organized, very stable. We have a very focused president, and who has a heart for this country. And people have seen his work. They've heard him talk, and he is the best candidate that we have so far. So I feel going forward, people should actually be looking to rallying behind him, because so far I don't think you've had any confusion, and he has been very categorical in regards to working with opposition, other political parties. He's been categorical in the sense that he wants to have a united opposition. That is President Harry Kalaba of the Citizens First Party. He wants to have a united opposition, and people have been saying no. He's pompous or anything. I've seen how people talk on social media like he has an ego. There's nothing egoistic about him. He's just put his foot on the ground, and he says we can work together. But when people want to merge, it's difficult to merge if somebody comes into your house and tells you to say, I want you to move out of your bedroom. I want to be in your bedroom. Your children should stop sleeping in their bedrooms. Let them be sleeping in the sitting rooms while they come and take those places. So he's just been firm, and currently for me, the attention should actually be on Citizens First Party, because it is the most stable, and it is the most focused and consistent party. So building up on what you said in regards to the patriotic front, it's just a pity that these are the concerns of the people. They're saying they want them to be united, but really the focus basically of the people of Zambia are actually on President Harry Kalaba and the Citizens First. So my appeal is to where these political parties we can have progressive discussions that can help us put somebody as the front liner, the flag bearer, and for me, I would firmly and confidently say to you that President Harry Kalaba is the best candidate we have so far.
Maybe before we get to discuss, get in depth with our topic of discussion, politicians and them not getting united probably because of selfish gains. There was a by-election in Kasama.
Yes.
And I think just after the results, we saw the United Party for National Democracy winning that particular seat through their candidate. And after that, we had people saying, if only the opposition decided to get united, maybe even that particular seat would have been won by someone coming from the opposition and not from the ruling party. And of course, you also participated in this.
What the thing about the Kasama by-elections, really, there was a lot going on. We fully participated in that election, and our candidate actually came third. And we are proud of ourselves. We are very proud of ourselves, and we are proud of the impact and the mark that we left in Kasama. If somebody didn't know about Citizens First, then they now know it because of the impact that you had during the campaigns of the by-elections. And really, I'd say the cause of people to say the opposition should be united actually very genuine and sincere. And these are things that we actually have to really look at, seriously, and see how best can be done. But I think you've seen in the elections, we've always had. If you look at presidential candidates, the last election we had in 2021, there were almost about 16 candidates. There were about 16 candidates, being the top, the Patriotic Front and the UPND, which was and then President Kalaba by then came third. So now there'll always be all these things. And alliances, with the experience that I've seen in our country, really, they've really never worked. The reason it is because people have got these selfish ambitions. They don't look at the interests of the citizens. Because
don't you think even citizens are also feeling the same way, that probably the CF is also selfish in one way or the other? Why not join an alliance?
So what's happening is that there have been discussions going on, and the CF, if you hate the President Kalaba say, or anybody from the Citizens Face Party, they'll tell you that they are open to having alliances and having a united opposition. But we have situations where people come with their demands. They come and try to impose. And then you cannot go to somebody, you want to work together with them, but you're imposing to them. I come to you, Taize, to say, let's try to come up with this business partnership and see how we can go about it. But you won't have much to say because I'm the one who's bringing this and that, like shutting you down. So it will be difficult for you to actually work with me because I'm imposing things on you. So this is what is happening. People just have selfish ambitions. They're not looking at the interests of the citizens. Our interest should be the citizens of Zambia, the people of Zambia. This is what they're crying for. So it's not an issue of saying no. We, as the citizens face, we cannot just allow people just come and then try to impose and push their agendas to us and then trying to rubbish or try to put us aside. No. We are a political party. We have a president. President Harry Kalaba is our flag bearer, and we are stable. We participate fully in all these by-elections, and we are very focused and consistent. For me, it is one of the biggest opposition parties that we have. So it's not that the CF has refused or doesn't want to get into any alliance or any partnership with these other opposition parties. They do, but it's just the things that people bring on the table. People should be not self-centered. We should look at the larger aspect of it, or which is the nation of Zambia. So it's not that the CF is not interested. So if you look at what happened in Kasama, of course, if we had a united opposition, there would have been a difference. But I don't see that possible, because trust me, even these general elections that you're going to have in August, we're going to have a lot of presidential candidates there. Trust me. So this thing of alliance is really, for me personally, I don't think it actually can work because of the ambitions that
so
people
you're of the idea of these opposition political parties going solo and getting united.
No. Unity is important. They say united we stand and divided we fall. And as things stand right now, we need a united opposition. A united opposition, so which is going to speak for the people, which is going to attend to the needs of the Zambian people. Right now, the Zambian people are stressed with the high cost of living. Things are not okay in the nation. We cannot run away from that fact that things are not right. High cost of living, the basic commodities are expensive. The last time I went to buy milling meal in ShopRite, so it costed me about 297,000 kwacha. 297 kwacha. And that was the cheapest. So meaning that there is need for a change. There is need for a change, but we also, for us to bring this narrative of change, we need to have a united front, a united opposition. And even as the citizens face, we are also pushing for united opposition, whereby people can properly and genuinely come together, agree on things, and come up with one goal, one opposition party, one candidate. And then we can see how best we can, we can move in that line.
As things stand, what were your expectations looking at the time that we're in? A lot of people are saying, I think the focus should be identifying a leader who has a heart for Zambians, not a greedy leader for that matter,
yes,
not a selfish leader for that matter, but
yes,
someone who has a heart, someone who understands the needs of Zambians. Where we are at the moment, what were your expectations? If you take yourself backwards, you just try and take a seat and do a throwback up until where we are, what were some of your expectations?
Well, for me personally, I think my expectations were to look, the thing that you're looking for right now is somebody who can unseat the current regime. That's what we are looking for as the opposition. And my expectations are looking at the track record. For example, let me talk of citizens faced with President Kalaba. Looking at the track record, looking at the consistency. This is the part which has...
Before we even get to look at the party you're coming from, let's focus maybe on the current party in power. What were your expectations?
Well, yeah, but
because you've talked about the high cost of living, and now with these few months we're remaining with, what were your expectations? What did you expect to see
yeah.
as of now?
So actually, the expectation was high when the United Party, your UPND, came into power. People had high expectations because of the promises which they were told, which we were told. We were told about low cost of prices for meal, fuel, and all those things that the United Party for National Development you're talking about. So it's actually disappointing that most of the things have not been done. It's like there was a U-turn on the promises, and this is what is frustrating to the Zambians. To say what we are being promised is not done. Look at the cost of fuel; it's quite high. And if you look at Zambia, if you look at the past history, what really used to bring a lot of noise was the cost of meal, just the cost of meal, because that is our staple food. If meal is very affordable, then we'll say there's no hunger in the country. Now, if you look at what it is right now, there are those promises which we were being taught to say it will be at like fifth quarter. Yes, but that is not the story of the day today. It is above. I'm just from telling you to say I bought a bag of meal at 297 kwacha, and that was the cheapest in Shoprite. So meaning that the expectations have not really been met. We can also in other areas when we talk of maybe free education really they have. I can strongly say yes, they've done well. They've brought this free education policy, and it is actually commendable. And we've seen them employing teachers, nurses, and a lot of teachers being employed. I think that is commendable, but that is not enough, because there is more to it. There is more to it. There is still unemployment levels are still high. The youths are not being employed. As a result, we have a rise in crime because of the youths do not have anything to do. So that really, and if you look at 2021, the people that ushered the UPND into power are the youths, but the youths have really not been attended to. So really, the expectations were high, and but really, it was disappointing and shocking that we are here today talking about the high cost of living, because the UPND promised that there's going to be low cost of living, things will be okay. But as things stand right now, if you just go in the compounds, just right here in Kalingalinga, go in the compound and ask how life is. When they just see you, Taiza, people will flock to you, asking you for as little as a 10 kwacha, because they do not have anything in the house. People are sleeping hungry. That is how bad it is. So really, the expectations were high, but the current situation is the opposite of everything.
Do you think the opposition have done their part to just ensure that things get better, or rather we have a system that wants to see a political party in power fail, so that they have reasons why people should vote for them in the coming elections?
So we, at the time that you're in right now, we are the type of politics that is taking place right now is that one of sobriety. People are sober and objective. So we will not just come out here and just oppose anything or everything. We'll be objective. Where they're doing good, we'll say this is a very good thing that you're doing. Keep it up, or even do better. I've just mentioned of how the free education policy is, which is commendable. I've spoken of how they managed to employ teachers, but still they can still do better. So it's not an issue about just looking about the wrong things which the current government is doing. No, actually, when they do the right things, we feel good, we feel happy, because they attend to the needs of the people. We come from the communities, our families, we are scattered all over the country. Because if my relatives are complaining of something and I cannot afford to give them, I'll cry to the government to say, can you do better? People are not okay. So it's not an issue of us looking at, no, they should just fail so that we could capitalize on them. No. Our interest, if you look at, for example, I'll talk of citizens first. Our interest is the citizens first. Let the citizens be the first to have jobs. Let the citizens be the first to have contracts. Those are the things that we want. Those are the things that we want to see. The Zambian people, indigenous Zambian people, taking part of the national cake. That is everything that we are looking for. We're not looking like we should have to, hit and hammer because they've made a mistake. We'll just give balances, checks and balances to say this area not doing well. The millimile is high, fuel is high, the cost of living is high. We are not doing well. People are complaining. People are not having a three-course meal. Not anymore. If some people right now can tell me they're having breakfast, lunch, supper, even at 16 children eat something, wow, that would be like a miracle. But what you're looking for is let's have the people of Zambia have a better meal, a decent meal. Even in our compounds where we come from. I come from the compounds, and our lives in the compounds is terrible. It's not good at all. Especially coming from load shedding, it was the worst ever. There was literally nothing happening, nothing going on. The businesses were down, and just a normal youth.
I think load shedding has improved now. What do you smell? Because I've said load shedding. I think people are not complaining as much as they were during the past few years. We've been experiencing load shedding, but as of now, I think people are able to do one or two things. What's your take on that one?
Well, I'm happy that actually load shedding has actually improved, but for how long is it going to be like this? Is it only from here up to the time for elections? How sustainable is it? What are they doing that they couldn't do then, which they're doing now? This which is happening now should have been happening. This should have been our normal livelihood. Why should things just change all of a sudden in an election time, in an election year? So I've got mixed feelings over this. I don't know what they have done. I don't know if I don't know. We used to hear things like exporting and things like that, but I don't know what has happened now, which they couldn't do then. How sustainable is it? So we only hope it continues. But the way things are, I don't know if it's going to be better even this year, because certain things we might not really judge them. But what I can say right now is that we are happy that it has improved. But how long is it going to be like this? Is it going to be like forever? For how long? Is it only for this particular season that we're in to make people forget the problems they've had so that they could say, okay, we're doing better now? Or is it something which was in plan and is supposed to be like this? Of which I really doubt. I really doubt. If at all I'd seen this kind of improvement early 2025, I would have said, okay, they mean well. But why should things turn in an election season? So I don't really know if this is, I don't really know how sustainable this one is. We are only hoping for the best. We are only hoping it continues. But the Zambians people, they have got their eyes open and they're able to judge for themselves, to say things are going to be like this, or these were trying to take us to help us, to make us think now because we are in this year, so we should push for them in this agenda. In a nutshell, I'd say we are happy for now, but we don't know how sustainable it's going to be.
Quite interesting. If you have any comments, contributions, you can get through to us on the number appearing on the screen. We are discussing a number of issues. We're discussing the current state of affairs, the economy. We're also asking a question: are politicians, not getting united due to selfish interest? So you get to share your views on what you think about our topic of discussion. In the studio, I'm still with Mr. Kapui. I'll call you Mr. Kapui. So if you have any comments, you can get through to us. It's coming from the CF. So get to share your views with us on what you think about our topic of discussion. So far, we've seen the party is coming from, which is a CF, and not being part of any alliance, and we're discussing this very, very topic. So get to share with us your views on what you think about our topic of discussion. And if you decide to give us a call, ensure that your volume is reduced. The volume from your television set is reduced so that we don't get any feedback. But you can also go to our Facebook page and leave your comments right there. Mr. Kapui, issues of, I know earlier you touched it. Earlier you mentioned something to do with reasons why probably the CF has not joined any alliance, and of course you also earlier alluded to issues to do with having talks in the background. But if you look at the general overview of why people feel people need a united opposition, if you look at things as of now, why do you think that most people just feel if they're going for the general election, if we're going to vote come 2026 August 13th, then we need a strong, united opposition.
Yeah, because
is it because at the moment the United Party for National Development is very strong, such that only a united opposition can unseat them come 2026 August?
You know, the United, the UPND are the party in power.
Yeah.
And you know, they have all the machinery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've got everything in their hands. So they're able to do they're able to change they're able to do anything that feel like doing, because they're the party in power. What I mean is they're able to do anything. I mean, doing anything legally, but
legally, right?
They should do everything legally. Yes.
Not illegally.
Yeah, but you know, in as much as excuse me, we are trying to push a narrative of having a united opposition. You know, actually, the main opposition that you have in Zambia are the people of Zambia. Those are the main opposition. Remember, the people have been saying we do not have strong opposition. The UPND have been saying there is no opposition. But what happened in Chawama? It's the opposition that won. And then there's no opposition? No. So meaning that the people of Zambia are the opposition, the major opposition that we have in the country right now. So the plea of having a united opposition is because people don't have a splitting of what? Because the Goliath we have right now is the UPND. They're strong. Okay, they're the party in power. And it is against all these other candidates that we have. So people are looking at issues where when there is a voting, people vote, like the way it was even in Kasama, where people are saying if they're united, the opposition are united, they could have banned SAT, they could have taken the mayoral seat in Kasama. It is because of the vote splitting. You know, these ones getting this amount, these figures, 3,000, 5, 6, these ones 2,000 something. If those were put together and given to the opposition, you could have probably done better. You know, so that is one of the reasons why people are saying we should have a united opposition, because there will be this thing of vote splitting. People are saying this vote should not be split, you know. But in as much as they're saying the vote should not be split, the people of Zambia know what they want. The people of Zambia know and are seeing who's capable and who's focused and who's not sarcastic, who's sober, even in the way they speak. You know, that they're able to tell. If you heard how our president speaks, there's no sarcasm in his mouth. He speaks objectively. He just looks at things objectively. There's no insults. He talks of the issues that are affecting the Zambian people. And that is what the Zambian people are looking for. So if we do not gain having a united opposition where all the political parties rally behind one candidate, in an instant where that doesn't happen, we still have hope.
But don't you think that is where the confusion is arising from? Because like almost each and every leader coming from these opposition political parties has different ideologies, wants to run this country in a certain way. Don't you think that's where all these issues are emerging from, the vote splitting issues? And we just saw that in the by-election, the mayor by-election that took place in Kasama.
That's the issue. You know, that's the issue. But, you know, for me, I believe people should be able to compromise. People should be flexible. You know, I should not only...
Do you think your president could compromise and be under the political party? Yes,
no.
Yes. Do you think so?
Well,
no, give us an honest opinion on this.
So
do you think so? Since we're looking at having a united opposition, do you think your president would accept to be a running mate?
So, yeah, let me respond. Thank you for that important question.
Yeah.
You know, President Kalaba is a very sober man and is a very good man. He has the heart for the Zambian people. That's the reason why he's vying for leadership, because he wants to change the lives of the Zambians.
I asked a question.
Yes.
Do you think?
So now, coming to that question, President Kalaba has a political party. This political party is very stable. Okay, it is very stable, and it is not shaky. There is no wrangles. There are no internal wrangles. There is no confusion. And this is a president who once contested and came out third. Actually, in 2021, there are places where he didn't even campaign, but they voted for him.
We're not
So I'm driving. I'm coming there.
Looking at the
So
current situation,
so if you're saying that
from Zambia,
yeah, if you're saying that him should be a running mate, well, I wouldn't speak on his behalf. You know, I'm just I wouldn't speak on his behalf. He has issues to look at as well. You know, but for me, he's a good man. He's somebody who's firm on his decisions. And if we were to have him as a running mate, I personally wouldn't even advise that he be a running mate, because he has a stable political party, which is spread all over the country.
That now speaks to our topic of discussion. Our politicians shunning away because of selfish interest.
It's an issue of agreement.
Don't you think that speaks to our topic of discussion?
It's an issue.
Why we're seeing all these opposition political parties being formed. We're seeing alliances also failing to just, stand test of time. Don't you think that speaks to our topic of discussion because of selfish interest?
Yeah.
So I said most opposition political parties always wants to be leaders and not to be running mates.
So for us as a citizens first, like you said you just mentioned, to say people and these political candidates and the political parties have got different ideologies, they have got different policies, and they have got their own ambitions. So if you talk of flexibility, people should be flexible. Okay, so we look at a number of issues when you talk of somebody who should be running mate. It's an issue of having a conversation. You put things on the table. You look at different areas. You understand that? You bring what you bring to the table and a lot of things that you put into consideration. Okay, so him having participated before an election, and who else that do we have right now? He came third. He came third, and that is a big thing for us. He was voted for in places that he didn't even campaign, but people voted for him. Now, what about now?
But should the question be because someone came third? I think times change and we keep on seeing new opposition political parties emerging towards the general.
And this time around,
should we be focusing on someone who came out third, or rather
it's a build-up.
Focusing on someone who has the credibility, who has the capacity, and who is sober-minded, someone who has the people of Zambia at heart.
You've actually
shouldn't be the man.
You have actually
agenda.
Yes.
For citizens of Zambia.
Of the citizens first, very good.
Citizens of Zambia in this case.
And you've actually just described what President Kalaba is. He has the heart of the people. He has the heart of the Zambian citizens at heart. He has the heart for the people. He wants to make a better Zambia. And that is what is happening. That's who he is. And that's what we're looking at. So if we talk of him coming third, it's a build-up. There is history to everything, Taisia. There is history to everything. So it is a build-up from there. It's not that this time around we're going to come third. No. This time around we're looking at being number one. From third to number one. That's what we're looking at. So if people should come, if people should actually come to Citizens First, to President Harry Kalaba and say, can we work with you? Can we put you the flag bearer? Yes. Personally, I don't know about our president, but my personal opinion, my personal view is to say people should come and say, can we work with you? We put you in front and then we make agreements on how we are going to constitute these other things coming behind. So, in a nutshell, I would say, coming up with him being a running mate, I don't think it's a difficult thing to do, but it just comes from him, and there are a lot more other things that you have to look at for somebody to be running mate. There are a lot of things, you see. So him is very consistent. Is sober.
It's like you just
is objective. No. I'm trying to. You asked me a question in regards to why can't he be a running mate. I'm saying I cannot say on that one. I cannot speak on his behalf. You need to. He's been here before. You should ask him when he comes back to say, why can't you be running mate? And he's going to give you a speech. But he's a man who has categorically said that we need to have a united front, a united opposition. That's what he's saying. That's what he has been saying up to date.
What is lacking in most of the leaders that we have in the opposition, apart from the Citizens First? What do you think is lacking in most of these leaders that we have when it comes to just uniting and seeing a united opposition front in the few months we're remaining with?
For me, really, it's actually very sad that it's just selfishness and greediness. People are just selfish. They're just looking at themselves. You know, if you have the heart for the country, you would be able to have. Now the issue is that this one will come up. They're scattered together. Everyone has got their own ambitions, their own interests. So it is just an issue of greediness, you know, and people just want to impose impose things. We're coming to you. We want this to be done. We cannot have a united opposition in that regard. When you want to be united with someone, even when you want to propose to a woman to marry, you talk to them nicely so that they can join you. You know, you cannot just go to them and start telling me, when I get you, I want you to, or you'll be doing this, you have to be doing that. No, it's something that the person doesn't even agree with. So you end up being rejected as a man. So, but if you want to have a united front, you come to the table, you discuss on how best you can run. You can run. But if you put your ambitions first, other than the interests of the Zambian people, it is a problem.
What will be the consequences of disunity as we head towards the general election? What do you foresee in terms of consequences with the few months we remain with? Yeah, earlier you also gave examples of the wrangles, the factions in the previous regime, that's the Patriotic Front, and we also saw them expelling some members. A certain list was published of some members who are said to have been expelled from the party, and also issues around the Tonse alliance. What are some of the consequences that we're likely to just face as we head towards the general election in the few months?
Well, you know, I don't have really keen interest in the Tonse. Remember when we started, I talked about the PF wrangles?
Yeah, it was just
yeah,
an example.
Yeah, it was just, yes. That's actually another topic.
No, I don't want you to dwell so much on them, because
Yeah.
I was just giving an example. So I don't want you to, you know,
that's actually,
speak much.
Yeah,
because I know that's Tonse Alliance. Of course, we have other parties under the same Tonse Alliance, and we also have the Patriotic Front, them being a party that once held.
They should just you know, fix their wrangles. These people should fix their wrangles. Zambians are not interested in confusion. We are seeing things flying all over. This one is expelled. This one is suspended. This one is fired. So it's really confusing. Zambians are interested in straight things, not complicated things. They're interested in straight things. So people don't want to associate themselves with confusion. And that's how come you've seen us, the citizens, face de-associating ourselves from any alliance at this particular time. Because we are not interested in confusion, we are interested in progressiveness. People need to be progressive. People need to be objective. So we want peace. We are a peace-loving country, and we want peace. And the peace starts from our home, even from our parties, where we come from. I cannot come to a house where there is fire. I cannot go join a house where there is fire. So the effect of that confusion is actually not good for in our political space. They have to fix it so that we can have peace. But I would say this again: the Zambian people are seeing of what.
Now, in general, what would be the consequences of disunity among opposition political parties, away from the Tonse Alliance, away from the Patriotic Front? Let's put them aside.
You know, the consequences of disunity is because it might be difficult to push a certain narrative if you're not united. People need to have one language, the same language. People should look at fighting, having one goal. So if you're not united, there's a problem. You know, I earlier mentioned to say there's a saying which says, divided we fall and united we stand. So as long as there's this disunity amongst the political parties, it might be problematic, even as we head into the general election. However, Shaizia, we still have hope. We still have hope. So it's definitely not good. It's not disunity is definitely not a good thing. It always brings out a lot of issues that don't end well, you know. But we have hope still. The Zambian people are aware, and they know which direction to take.
What are the solutions to most of the problems Zambians are facing, apart from you mentioning your leader? Because I know that might just come up. What are the solutions to what Zambians are facing, and who has those solutions? Yes, who
You're
has...
saying my leader should not
No,
come
no,
out
no,
now.
no. I don't want to. On this one, I don't want you to say the CF in general. What are the solutions to what Zambians have been facing?
The solutions
What are the solutions?
is to lower the cost of living. Let's lower the cost of living. Let's make it easy for a hustler out there on the street to make business. You know, let's lower. Generally, it's the cost of living. Let the environment be so conducive that even somebody who starts a very very small business will be able to thrive. So the solutions that we need in the country right now is to lower the cost of living.
And what would be the role of citizens, apart from just putting the blame on government and probably calling on government to come on board and address these issues and
A change of
cost
mindset.
Of living?
Yeah, we also, even as the citizens, also need to have a change of mindset. You know, the role of government is to provide a conducive environment for businesses to thrive, starting from an entrepreneur, a marketeer, corporates, all those levels in businesses, that's different sectors, you know, is to make the environment conducive for business to thrive. Now, in as much as they're supposed to do that, also there should be a change of mindset among the Zambian people, among the citizens. The change of mindset I'm talking about is being responsible, being able to push the agendas as well, to be hardworking, the young people. We should not only wait for somebody to come and change our lives. We should maybe capitalize and being innovative. Okay, I'm addressing the young people because I fall into that category. You know, so we need to be innovative. We need to be aggressive in the way that we do things. I've been on the street before. I've done businesses on the street. I'm coming from a hustling background, and I know how hard it is on the street. So if you do not have that drive in you, it will be difficult for you to push. Government really might not do everything for you, but you need to have a role to play. You know, we can remove certain things. Over dependency on certain people will be difficult. At least have some self-belief, and know what you're capable of doing. Know that you are able to thrive even in very difficult conditions. I'm a Christian, and I believe that God is always by our side to give us the Bible says that He gives us the ability to make wealth. And the desire and the ambition of every person out there, every young man out there, is to make it. Now, we cannot make it if only depend on people. Let us also have this self-reliance, this self-belief, this faith to say, I can also make a difference as a citizen. Is it George Kennedy, the US president, said, before you think of what America can do for you, think of what you can do for America. So even that one also, I'll be able to drive it to say, we as citizens also have a role to play in making things better for our lives. So in as much as things are difficult right now, we cannot just sleep and say and fold our hands and cry, be crybabies that no, things are bad, things are not okay. Doing nothing is to wake up, change of mindset. This total dependence on people and on the government should stop. You know, let's work hard. Let's work hard in whatever department or industry you're in, whatever sector you're in. You have a role to play there as a person, as a woman. Do something. Do something. Let's have this change of mindset of total dependence on government.
Right. You have been pushing for a number of things, especially under Lusaka Central. What do you think is lacking as we conclude this interview, and what changes would you love to see as we conclude?
I'm happy that you brought Lusaka Central because I'm an aspiring candidate there under the Citizens First. And me being raised from Lusaka Central, and particularly Bauleni and Nyumbayanga, those are the areas where I've lived. Lusaka Central hasn't seen any development. And being a resident of Lusaka Central, it hurts me and it bothers me that I see young men day in, day out, you know, struggling to just make ends meet, seeing a mother wake up early as 04 to you know to bring something as they come back home. It's really been difficult. And for me, what I'd love to see is to see development in Lusaka Central. You know, the drainages, in particular in Baulin, they are very bad. There's nobody to clean the drainages. Water has been an issue. And generally, in the entire constituency of Lusaka Central, there is need for serious development and involvement of the people of Lusaka Central. They have been neglected. They have not had a voice to speak for them. Because if you put somebody as a member of parliament in the National Assembly, there should be a voice to speak on behalf of that constituency, to speak on behalf of the people that have sent you there. You speak on behalf of the issues they're facing. You know, the lack of proper roads. You know, when the rain season has come, as we are in rain season right now, when it rains, it is very bad. Some roads are practically impassable. You know, from the time that, since 2021, there hasn't been any serious development in Lusaka Central. And that has been a bother. That has been an issue. And now,
do you feel all these leaders who are probably given that mantle to just represent citizens or their constituents have really failed and have rather opted to just benefit? Because there's an allowance that they get for just sitting and representing the citizens. Do you think they have held those positions out of selfish gain without considering citizens, where they come from, or constituencies they are representing?
Exactly. That's actually what they've done. It's like they're just using these things as a ladder to get to their ambitions, their desires. Okay, and when I'm voted in, you know, when people are vying for this position, they humble themselves to an extent. You've seen people, you know, kneeling down, crying, wanting to get there. But when they get there, they forget the people that have actually put them there. Right now, people can call me and ask me about, there's an issue here in Lusaka Central. Will you please come help out? I'll go there. This should be this is the type of livelihood that should continue, even when you're elected into power, into parliament. Respond to the needs of the people. Now, when people get there, they forget. I think so many things get to their heads such that they even forget where they have come from. All they think of is just themselves, their gain, and just their selfish ambitions putting ahead of forgetting their mandate, forgetting that they're supposed to represent the people that have been who have sent them there. And this is what has actually happened in Lusaka Central. We've not had a voice. There's been no voice at all. We have had an absent MP, and that's how come. When
last did you see your MP? When last did you have a conversation with your area member of
Well, I've never had a conversation with him because, you know, it's actually difficult to reach out to these people. Just ask the people in Lusaka Central, for example. Ask them, when last did you see your MP?
Interesting. Well, thank you.
They'll tell you,
much.
they say, we don't even know. It's still as well. You know, they because you've never seen them.
I hope the member of parliament is watching. That's from Lusaka Central. Others said,
yeah, my big brother hasn't been there.
Complain that they've never seen you, and probably this also gets back to the topic of discussion. We're looking at unity as well as the conduct of politicians. But this is where we come to the end of today's lunchtime chat. In the studio, I was joined by Mr. Mwangala Kapui, who is coming from the Citizens First, and we were asking a question: are politicians shunning away from opposition unity because of selfish interests? Have been your host, Taisia Chela. I will see you tomorrow at exactly 13 hours. Make a date and share your views, and also share what you'd want us to discuss tomorrow. Have a lovely afternoon. Goodbye.